Rich, very recently, in a galaxy very, very nearby, I got to look at Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
And already I'm in, because that is the opening shot to the first Star Wars movie, and it's virtually shot for shot identical. Amazing.
It is. But then you get this, and I think that's a really nice... that brings together everything that's good about this game. You get that actual perfect shot from people who love it, and then you get a stupid joke straight after, right?
You're like, that's not 3PO and R2-D2. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's still got that sort of slapstick humour.
Yeah.
And we're straight into the action here. The early scenes playing as Princess Leia. And you can see here, can't you, like, everything's a bit closer than you maybe expect from a Lego game, and it's just much more like a third-person action game, right?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it looks like a proper third-person shooter. Bit of a departure.
Which is really interesting, right? It feels like they're trying to make a slightly more mature is not the right word, because clearly not, right? But it feels like the actual mechanically it's matured a little bit, and this is really cool.
Yeah, this does look cool. I like this.
Well, this is cool because this isn't in A New Hope, that scene in the dark with the lightsaber.
It's closer to Rogue One, isn't it?
That's the thing, and they said that in the preview session. They said they were able to sneak that in from Rogue One, even though they're not covering those films.
Yeah,
they're just covering episodes 1 through 9.
There's little nods.
That's a nice little Rogue One reference there.
Yeah, good stuff.
I don't know if you noticed here as well, but the entire spaceship they're in is Lego based as well now. So
yes.
The environments used to be, you had Lego bits and pieces, but the environments weren't Lego. But with the spaceships in particular, they're like, well, no, they're just now giant Lego spaceships. And I don't know about you, Rich, but I'm watching this and I'm like, sort of want to build this.
Yeah. I noticed that the stormtroopers were building their own cover as well when you shoot them.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It's a nice little touch.
You can see the new combo system here on the right-hand side as well, as you're fighting goons and building it up. It goes up to times 6, times 7, times 8, and the more often you do that, the higher level sort of studs you get.
It's good to see them change things up because since the first Lego game, there's not been masses of evolution in the way they play.
No, I mean, no, you're right. They found a formula that worked, right, and they really stuck with it. And it's not this still isn't a huge departure, but I'd say it's more of an evolution than we've seen between any sort of games previously. It feels like a real step up. And it does it toes that line between being, again, comical, but that's also quite a cool little scene with Darth Vader walking through that bit there.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it is very good, and it has got that classic Lego feel, and it is, like I say, the mechanics are matured a little bit, and I think seeing this I was a little bit worried that sort of they're very accessible games, right? They're very good. I've heard them talked about for very young players, and also for like people with disabilities and stuff like that. And they've whacked plenty of accessibility options in there as well. A lot of QTEs can auto complete and stuff like this. This is a cool bit. This is you get to pick what you want to do here. So they've picked to go on the right hand side.
Yeah,
and
that's cool. So branching paths as well then.
Yeah, these little branching paths that just change what would have happened. So you can see all the stormtroopers in that corridor that you would have been fighting, right? But instead, you've chosen to go down this path on the right hand side, complete a little sort of puzzle. Again, it's quite simple, basic stuff, right? But you complete this and you get a nice little reward for it, and I think it also, you can sort of see it up close there, but it's gorgeous looking, right? It's got a nice mix of being like really good looking and also looking like actual plastic.
Yeah, Lego games have always been quite good at mimicking the actual Lego blocks and stuff. But this is next level, isn't it? It's good stuff.
Yeah, so this is obviously Tatooine, and here you got the more sort of realistic environments, right? You got that mix of Lego and more. I mean, it doesn't look out of place. The environments and stuff like this playing as Luke here, and it doesn't look out of place. The environments would look pretty decent in just a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
No,
that's true. They do look good.
And even just like the way the lighting on the Lego, Rich, you're gonna have to give me the creature's name because it's completely left my mind.
I can't remember the name of this thing. This is a creature I feel like was added in the 1997 special edition at like the Mos Eisley spaceport. I don't think it was originally in there, but I cannot for the life of me tell you what it's called.
I'll take your word for that, Rich, because you are the Star Wars expert here.
Don't say that, because I've just not been able to name that creature.
Well, compared to me then, but and these are sort of the more free roam areas that you get in Lego games. This is just a little thing to get one of the Kyber blocks,
Kyber crystals.
Which can be used to level up your characters. So we're going from the original trilogy here to the prequel trilogy,
Revenge of the Sith. I want to say this one is.
I think so. And you got that nice little bit of humour. Like every cutscene, it's not just. I think in my head I'd remember them as being a little bit funny.
Yeah.
Compared to the original films, but it's every single scene. There's like 3, 4, 5 things that they've just thrown in there just to be a little bit humorous, and there's a real love for it here, and obviously got that classic co-op gameplay. And the entire game is made to be played in co-op. So we saw earlier there was a scene in single player where you were Princess Leia and you had another character following you around there, and all the puzzles are sort of
course,
they're made to have 2 players in, and that continues over here.
Well, this again, looks, I was going to say this looks a bit nicer to play in split screen as well, because when you played before, I seem to remember there's a dynamic split screen. So if you're on the same screen together, you shared the screen, and then if you went apart, it split, and it was a bit jarring. Wasn't really a big fan.
They've sort of used fixed cameras for years, haven't they? Which is like a slightly weird thing. So moving into that more third person over the shoulder, it just looks more like what split screen co-op games looked like on the PS2 and the PS3 for every other game, right?
So what happens when you fill that combo meter?
So I don't know. I think it just keeps clocking up, and you get higher value studs.
Okay,
the higher it is, and that's always been the thing with Lego Star Wars, right? Is you don't die. Your only reward for playing well is you don't lose studs from that quick sort of like not a game over, but a quick respawn, right? I think it's the combo meter is another thing for rewarding players who play it well, but you're not getting massively downgraded if you don't do it. And this is cool. This is one of the boss fights in the game. It's just a very cinematic. They've really using that close in camera for a more cinematic experience here, and almost. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to Dark Souls, right? But there's that real sort of like classic feel. You've got the nice red areas where the attack's going to go.
This is the Dark Souls of Lego games, yeah.
Yeah, actually, You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be the only person who was not afraid to say it. No, it's just got that. It's a real classic boss fight. Multiple phases. Dooku's gonna run off now like a coward. You got to fight his goons. For a little bit. But the whole thing feels really sort of cinematic and close in. And now this is. It depends on your opinion on these films, but it's also one of the more exciting things. You're not seeing Episode 8 and Episode 9 in Lego ever before this.
So this is Last Jedi, right? This is the opening of Last Jedi, if I recall correctly.
I believe you're right. Honestly, my memory of the films is quite hazy because I've watched them once each in the cinema, and then that's me done.
See, I saw Last Jedi again at home, and it stood up better on a second viewing than it did on a first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people will disagree in the comments, but I quite like.
God,
I quite like
the
Last
hate
Jedi.
for Last Jedi is intense, isn't it?
But, it really is.
I hated it when I first saw it, but second viewing it wasn't quite as bad as I remembered.
Yeah, and I think I said this. We've got a written preview on our websites as well, and I said this here. I think these films have been crying out for a Lego adaptation, if only to take some of the more serious conversation around it away. These games are so good at celebrating what each film does well, and also ripping the piss out of the things they do badly, right?
Yeah, and even if it's little. This looks like a proper space shooter as well now.
Yeah, and you've got a mix. You've got third-person space shooting, and then you've got this nice in-cockpit view for this bit. And they've reworked sort of space battles a little bit. So you've got this bit which is more Star Foxy, right? A bit more on rails. You've got the one thing, and then your hit points where you're flying throughout. And again, you've got these nice little open areas, which this is the Wookiee home planet, I think.
Yeah, Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk with 3 Ys, Matt.
Right? Of course. And yeah, so you've got these nice little force puzzles, and again, you're going to get you're going to get a Kyber block for completing these, and then that can be used to upgrade your characters. Each character is split into a different type of sort of phase.
Right.
So there's Jedis, there's heroes, and each of them have different abilities. There's 2 different types of droids, and you can sort of level up each class of character by themselves. So you can level up your heroes with different abilities and a skill tree and stuff like that. And it's just, I think you've got it's Lego. It's a nice mix of like little open world exploration areas and set pieces, and they're just, they're fantastic celebrations of everything good and everything slightly crap about Star Wars. Like, and
they celebrate the crap, do they?
Yeah, I think they do, man. I think that's part of it. I think it's, I think they, these are made by fans, and it celebrates every little bit of it. And
I got that for Christmas, mate. That Boba Fett
the Lego Starship.
Oh yeah.
It does look very good. I've had my eye on quite a few Lego bits at the moment, but honestly, mate, I need to stop spending money on it.
This won't help. This will just make you want them more.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, that's Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I hope you're excited about it. If you like the video, subscribe, all of that nonsense. And
it's out 5th of April as well, if in case you're wondering.
Yes, it is. Yep. And you can read our preview over on xboxachievements.com and playstationtrophies.org. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.